What does Zyn really give you? Not just smoke-free nicotine satisfaction, but also real freedom to do more of what you love, when and where you want to do it. Why bring Zyn along for the ride? Because America's #1 nicotine pouch opens up all the possibilities of right now. With Zyn, you don't just find freedom, you keep finding it. Find your Zyn. Learn more at Zyn.com. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
Shadow Show.
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 Shadow in it.
Shadow in it.
Chris Cody, Zaslow doesn't know what's real and what's bit around here. So
Trying.
I will just tell you that Greg Cody is not a show removed from sticking out his chest, preening and saying, I'm a very punctual person. And I'm looking at a seat next to me that's empty. Your father's not yet here. He said he was going to be here. He is clearly late, and he's already steaming because he was as insulted as he's ever been by me being an asshole to you 2 days ago.
Yes, he was, and he's often late, and I've criticized him. I don't think he leaves early enough, and everyone gets mad at me when I say it. So I don't
You
know what to
notice
do.
I've adjusted, right? Because I was late, and now
Zaslow will never be late again.
I don't stop for coffee anymore. I make my own now.
Well, Joy Taylor does accuse you, though, of one time walking in late with coffee, which I think you should have learned the lesson there.
It took 10 years, but he finally figured it out.
Longer.
Make the coffee here.
Mike, Tony, Amin, does anyone in our company have an explanation? I ask this genuinely curious because I do not know. Stugotz was on the schedule 3 or 4 days this week and has not appeared, and Zaslow has rushed into the breach every time. Do you guys know what's going on with Stugotz?
Check my bank account's looking good.
Yeah,
now.
yeah, absolutely. You see what's going on in Newark? Sean Duffy, man, in over his head.
It's wicked
bad.
wild.
It's
wicked.
bad.
Chowder.
Zaslow came in here today, and he is he's betrayed Amin.
Really, we're doing this already.
He look. You're going to fit right in around here. You're going to fit right in because
We work our way to this.
no, you're not going to deny that you've betrayed Amin already. That you're not only are you sitting in Stugotz's seat and literally counting what used to be his money. You're sitting in the seat and you're coming in and you want to bet.
Look at the way Amin is staring at me too.
Well, Amin, you're going to
Can't see it because we're not on air.
grilling
yet.
me.
Amin, you're going to be horrified
Grilling me.
by the level of this betrayal as a fellow hustler like Zaz who realizes that there are money trees all around us.
Point them out to me, please.
Zaslow, I'm going to point one out to you because Zaslow has betrayed you on it. You pretend like point them out to me, but you gave him one. You have so many money trees around you that you just gave one to Zaslow and he betrayed you with it.
It wasn't on purpose, though.
Oh, you're admitting it now.
Well, I mean, I don't know if I want to call it a betrayal. Like, I did something that is for me and that is helping me. It really shouldn't have anything to do with Amin. He may look at it as a betrayal. I just did something that helped me.
It is a betrayal, though.
This is about Cameo, isn't it? Oh, my God. I took you under my wing.
What do you mean you took me under your wing?
I'm the one that showed you you were lost. You didn't know how does the camera work? Does the portrait mode, landscape? I'm like, no, listen to me. This is how you do it. And I said, sign up under my referral code at Darth Amin.
Right.
You guys can request right now, by the way, if you're listening. And I was going to show you the way.
Tony.
Well, you can also request me a 10-day Tony.
I was going to say, what about my code? Did you use my code? Is that what the
I don't just. What am I supposed to guess what everyone's code is?
You're supposed to text me, hey, Amin, I'm about to do this.
Everyone stop. Everyone back off. Tony.
Yeah, back off.
Tony's face on that, because this is funny. This is legitimate funny. Amin saying, where are all the money trees? Tony's one of the best hustlers we have. Tony knows how to hustle. Miami hustle, not Fugazi Amin hustle.
Whoa, wait a second. Hold on.
I'm not finished with you
No,
yet.
I'm not finished with you yet.
I'm not done betraying you yet.
You gonna let him talk to you like that?
Tony, you just made a face at how slow Amin got in there with his panhandling on Cameo, and then right behind him, like me driving behind an ambulance when there's traffic in Miami, right behind him, you threw your Cameo
Little fastball
out.
in there, Dano. 10-day Tony. It's not Blake's fault.
This is the Dan Lebatard Show with the Stugotz podcast.
I got to be honest with you. As much fun as it is to watch basketball's biggest names leave the stage so we can have new ones, I'm genuinely stunned by how I'm watching these playoffs, because we talked about Golden State and the Lakers all season. And the way that I watched Golden State last night and the way that I've watched these playoffs have made me, for the first time in my life that doesn't involve Nick Saban, someone who vigorously hates that I am rooting for Jimmy Butler to go down in flames. Like, I can't even believe how my objectivity has flown out the window on this. It was just, I was really happy last night, really happy that Jimmy finally found his joy again.
We're doing this, huh? That's the show we're doing. Yeah. Because last night was awesome.
This is a good morning.
Last night was wicked awesome.
There's some good stuff happening.
He's ass.
Harvard.
The text I got last night, immediately after the game, is a text I think you guys would want to see. Because in the first round, we said, hey, guys, Jimmy won the Miami thing. And the second round, we're saying, oh, look, Miami wins it forever because the window is closed on the era of Jimmy. That closes, right? I can't believe he was in the era. The idea, let me explain to you what Miami did for Jimmy the last 5 years that it did and helped LeBron with. He was a lot better player, obviously, in 2010. What it is that Miami did for Jimmy. And Jimmy, it would go to Jimmy's head. Of course it would. In 5 years, Jimmy Butler went from a player none of us thought could be much better than a 1 on an 8 seed, a 1 on a 7 seed, a 1 on a 6 seed. Because that's what we thought he was. Then he goes to Philadelphia, goes to Minnesota, builds his legend, but builds it in a way none of us have ever seen in the playoffs, ever. 0 40-point games regular season, 8 40-point games postseason. There's a playoff Jimmy. Well, yes, there was. We all saw it. It was amazing. It was the prime of his career, and he's gone. And now it's pump fake Jimmy. And pump fake Jimmy is different than playoff Jimmy. Pump fake Jimmy is 10 years of what basketball does to the body, and 35-year-olds generally age, and they're not all LeBron. LeBron's changed the science.
11 field goal attempts. What a joke.
What time you get this text? What time?
It was after that game.
It was after that game? Well, we can rule out Pat the Rat because that guy ain't up that.
Hey, this isn't the time to do that.
Oh, no, this guy's already going with the propaganda. What did he do for Jimmy? Come on, man. Jimmy carried their ass.
Cape Cod.
Jimmy did carry their ass for 5 years.
They did nothing for Jimmy. They surrounded him by Max Strus. Come on, let's get real.
Hold on a second. That's the text I got. I'm not Max Strus. I will tell you what that text is at some point. I will never tell you who it was from. I'm guessing you can all guess who it was from.
I mean, another stand situation.
Lobster roll.
What's a stand situation?
Yeah, like remember the Bam text last year that you denied it was Stan,
Yeah,
but we all thought
it was
Stan?
obviously Stan Van Gundy.
It wasn't Stan. Like, you guys put me in such a bad spot there. Such a bad
Well, you got
spot.
two coaches that are friends. One pushed the other one out. It's got to be awkward for you.
I hate your accent so much.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Ted Williams.
All right. We'll get to Jimmy, because that hate is also fun.
I don't think you've talked about Jimmy enough over the last few months.
So I'm going to okay, good call, Boston guy.
Jimmy Garoppolo.
Here is what I'm here to say this to America, and I want the sound. You guys have the video of these guys yesterday doing what it is that they did to the Boston Celtics before that game last night at the suggestion that the Celtics could come back against the New York Knicks down 3-1 without Jason Tatum. And I went to bed last night after this tumult of hate and celebration of hate. I went to bed last night knowing that our show runs the risk epically because of what it is it did yesterday, laughing in the face of a champion, a worthy champion, a champion you should respect that you don't respect enough because they got the faster car and it was made to look easy. That champion has beat the holy hell out of the league for 2 years. And I will tell you that the difference, I mean, I wonder if you think this is true, what I'm about to say. The difference between the Celtics and the rest of the Eastern Conference except for the Cavs this year, even if I remove Jason Tatum from it, I'm just merely now making the Celtics about as good as the Knicks because Derek White and Jaylen Brown and Porzingis.
Dogs.
And if Drew Holiday's your fourth, you've got a team that could beat an inconsistent Knicks team that can absolutely have the wheels fall apart in a way that crushes the best feeling in New York in 25 years.
Dan, they were down 3-1 with Jason Tatum. They're down. So you can't say even without Jason Tatum, they were down 3-1 with Jason Tatum. They won a game. This is like the Thunder.
They won a home game.
Yeah, this is like the Thunder losing game one. And you're like, they won a game.
Don't discount the heart of a champion. And also, you forgot a name. You didn't mention Luke Cornett, the White Howard.
Bubla.
Derek White.
Dan.
No, we know this.
Top 100
No,
player.
hold on. We didn't know
Top
this.
100 player.
We didn't know this.
No.
I told you he's your best player.
We tried to tell you.
tried to
We
tell
tried
you.
to tell you
We tried to
yesterday.
tell you
And you
yesterday.
laughed
said,
at
no,
us.
Jason
I said
Tatum.
games that I saw with my
I
own
said,
eyes.
Derek
Derek
White is the
player.
best
I asked him
player.
about other
How many
people's
times
eyes.
does
He
it
said
tell
he
you
didn't
that?
know.
We got that Kobe cosplay out of the way now.
As you were.
Boston, without Jason Tatum, can beat everyone remaining except OKC.
Specifically because they're missing Jason Tatum.
No way.
Yeah, way.
Okay, let me
Yawkey.
make sure I heard that properly.
Way.
This version of Boston, this team right now would beat Minnesota.
I'm saying can beat Minnesota because they'll shoot from threes. Guys, just so you know, I'm sure the Celtics are like a 2-point dog in this game going to the you have clearly not been watching Knicks basketball this season. I know you trust Brunson. If you don't think that Knicks team can be undone by 25 years of being that Knicks team and the fact that they haven't closed out someone for those fans since 1999. That team is up and down, and it is ready to turn on Bridges if Bridges decides to go 1 for 11 on a night at their garden where you guys are crazy if you don't think that the Knicks can blow this.
Knicks are a 2.5-point favorite tomorrow night.
You're nuts. If I tell you somebody's going to win in a game, you're crazy if you don't think that the Celtics can beat the Knicks 2 more times.
Where's the pushback that you're getting? We organically flipped last night watching the heart of a champion over there with Derek White. Finally getting more volume because we got Jason Tatum out of the way. This is exactly how efficient Derek White. This is exactly how we turned organically. Now we realize with Tatum out of the way, the narrative can push forward that he's not a good basketball player, and now we want New York to be embarrassed.
Hate your voice, man.
Bang a Yui.
Your voice, your accent. I hate it so much. This is not what I thought I was walking into this morning.
We're no longer Knicks guys over here. We want the Knicks to be embarrassed because it's funny.
Grinder.
WDEI.
That imaging is shitty. I know, but look. They know how to do radio in Boston, okay? They do. They've been making fun of
get the joke?
how we do radio. Look, that's
Bunch of Cubans.
That's the production that we've got on our WDEI imaging.
WDEI. Sent by American.
That sounds like a sound from Adam West's
Batman.
in the 60s.
You know too, bro. I was like,
just about
what?
to say that.
What imaging is that? How are we trying to keep up with the kids?
Kapow!
We got better voices, too.
You people are insane if you do not believe. Listen to what I'm saying to you.
We all believe. We all believe
No,
the
we
Knicks
don't.
can blow
Amin
this.
doesn't believe.
No, Amin believes.
Dan, I'm rooting for it. I'm rooting for that to happen because then that's the maximum amount of chaos that brings me joy in life. I have an entire family and a group chat full of people who have lived on cloud 9 for the last 4 or 5 days, right? This is the best time of their lives. Literally. I'm talking about birth of children, marriage, all that stuff. Nope. This is it.
So pathetic. Having 3 wins in round 2. It's the best time of their life.
Yeah, precisely. With one pop of an Achilles, we got a dream scenario over here. This is really lining up perfectly because you set up the Knicks with all this hope. They're already buying the tickets on Game Time for the NBA Finals because they think that Jason Tatum being out is a bad thing. But we here on the show have always known he's a massively overrated player, and we've always known that Derek White is the key to their success. This is perfect.
Don't forget about Luke Cornett.
The White Howard.
Yeah.
WDEI.
Greg Cody has arrived. He is fashionably late. He's getting makeup in the other room. As I mentioned, he's enraged. Chris, do you want to take the audience? It was lovely, actually, to see the audience gather together, rally, and show a great deal of love in calling me an asshole for the way that I treated you on Tuesday with your father. And now your father comes in enraged, and I've often said your father enraged is the best Cody there is. That's the one we want to play with.
He's got like this smirk to him that I think he's actually really mad. You know, like when he's playing along, I don't know.
Zaz never knows. So
Look at him.
All right, Zaz,
I don't know.
Zaz, what's the prediction? There, look, Mike, wouldn't you say as a producer for the talent that is Greg Cody over 20 years, that not unlike my father, there have been any number of challenging situations because the talent wishes to be treated like talent?
Yeah, there's a point of no return when it comes to Greg Cody, that you lose him for the day. And I think we're already over there. And his head already seems to be spinning. I cannot wait for him to find out that we're a Celtics show now. WDEI!
All right, let's just see how he reacts to that. It's very strange that we would go Batman imaging from the 60s to try and keep up with AI and modern technology. I don't know whose decision that was. I don't think that's how we fight them in the streaming age.
WDEI! By the way, how about that Brad Marchand?
Tony.
How about that Brad Marchand last night? Chirping? You want to chirp our players? Brad Marchand, you're skating to the bench, not so fast. Not so fast. You don't chirp a Florida Panther. WDEI.
Tony, please don't stop doing that. I'm telling you.
How did we all get to the same conclusion?
Tony,
you, me, and Amin.
Tony,
in a triangular fashion.
Tony,
Adam West.
every time, this is what I need from you all show, okay? Every time he plays that, I want you to give me a signature kick or some sort of beefcake mixed martial arts so that we can compete with MMA Boston Sports Radio on how to out-talk them on mixed martial arts, because we've got more modern imaging than them.
Pissa.
We have feuded with WEEI, which has been flatly racist for 20 years, just as an organization, for 20 years. And they know they have a champion. And what I would say to you guys, and I don't actually mean this as insult in any way to the league or the Celtics. It's actually a celebration of how much a champion the Celtics have been, even though people doubt it. Like, it never gets made as easy as the Celtics made it look last year unless you're great. And I think we kind of doubt that they're great, at least in part because we're saying, well, you've just got the faster car. You're the one that got to 53s faster. And
all the other engines blew out on the track. Look, I'm the biggest Celtics fan you'd find. And even I'd be the first to admit we got wicked lucky over the last few years.
Packy.
Remember Max Strus? Let me tell you something. His foot was in bounds. We got lucky.
Okay, you can get lucky. No,
and
Boston,
I could say that as a Boston fan.
You would never say that as a Boston fan.
I can say that as a Boston fan.
No
I'd be the
Boston
first
fan
to
has ever
admit
said.
it.
You'd not be the first to admit it.
We're known for our self-awareness.
No, there would not be any admitting of anything from you if you're the first to admit anything. Like that, no Boston fan. Like, what are you doing? Are you going to be in character as the Boston fan or not?
That Brad Marchand carried your ass last night.
But are you
entire series.
Are you going to do the character or not? Because Lucky is not something any Boston fan. They rolled over everybody in 5 games last year. It's not easy to win a championship.
I think it's perfectly fair to put an asterisk next to that banner.
Ripper.
That's ridiculous.
We'd be the first to admit it.
You wouldn't be.
We would be. We would be.
We DEI.
Yeah. Winchester.
Southie.
I want to get to the Panthers in a second. We will wait, of course, for the talent to get into position. He's going to, make a jostle, get his headset in. He does remember saying his very last episode how punctual he was, making fun of Zaz for being late the previous time. Yes?
That may or may not be true. I'd have to look up the record on that.
What is your level of anger right now? How much have you forgiven me or not forgiven me for last Tuesday? It was lovely to see the audience rally in your defense to chant asshole at me. It was lovely. It was a lovely show of the best love that, repressed toddler males can show each other.
Yeah, you took a big hit on social media, and rightly so. I responded to your...
Just unpacking as he talks.
I responded to your apologetic text.
What would happen if you didn't get your computer... Like, if you just addressed the situation, what would happen?
It's wild how unprofessional you're being, like, by way of entrance right now. Because
you need the computer to address this?
Because you're being noisy, and this is an audio product.
You're attacking my man right off the bat.
I was going to say, Dan, I really want to thank you because, your good nature, your calm demeanor, you have such a way of bringing down the temperature in any room you're in and making the workplace such an inviting environment. Thank you for being you.
You got everything you need out there?
Not yet. Go ahead. What do you got? What did I miss? What kind of magic did you guys do in the 10 minutes before I got here? Replay it for me. What
play
kind
it
of
for
magic?
him. Play it for him, Chris.
WDEI.
I like it. I thought DEI was banned in this country. I'm glad to hear that's
In certain parts.
What are you?
WDEI.
Park the car. Everybody thinks they can do a Boston accent, by the way. It's like an English accent. Hello.
Well, you guys have listened to Oral History, and you know that the origins of this show were once just a dream for Dan and for Stugotz, and that dream turned into the show, and now the business of Meadowlark Media and the show that you're listening to today. But starting your own business is a dream that lots of us share. Too many of us let it remain just a dream. So don't hold yourself back thinking, what if I don't have the skills? What if I can't do it alone? Turn those what ifs into why nots with Shopify by your side. Shopify powers millions of businesses worldwide, including 10% of all US e-commerce. Whether you're Mattel or you're just getting started, Shopify's got your back. Not a web designer? No problem at all. Shopify has beautiful, ready-to-go templates. Need help with the details? Their AI tools can enhance product images, write descriptions, and even generate discount codes. Worried about finding customers? Shopify makes marketing easy with email and social media tools. And if I ever get stuck, Shopify's award-winning 24/7 support is always there. Turn those dreams into and give them the best shot at success with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/Batard. Go to shopify.com/Batard. Shopify.com/Batard.
Hey everybody, it's Mike Ryan, and the boys of summer are already humming. They fixed the sport of baseball, everybody, so go out to a ball game. Sometimes tickets are harder to find. Sometimes you want a better deal than what's out there. Well, Game Time is the place to check for Major League Baseball tickets. And now Game Time makes getting tickets even faster and easier. Prices on the Game Time app actually go down the closer it gets to first pitch. With killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and their lowest price guarantee, Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets. You may be asking yourself, Mike, what does last-minute deals even mean? It means you can save up to 60% off buying last-minute tickets for sports, concerts, comedy, and theater, the whole gamut. Plus, you get all-in pricing. Toggling this feature shows you the total upfront with no surprise fees at checkout. I know how much people hate that. I've been there. Hated it. Don't have to deal with it at Game Time. That's what makes it my favorite app in the marketplace. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code DAN for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code DAN for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed.
The Dan Le Batard Show with Stugotz is sponsored by BetterHelp. Mental health awareness is growing, and that's a good thing, but there's still work to do. In a recent survey, 26% of Americans said they've avoided seeking support out of fear of being judged. And that hesitation, it doesn't just affect the individual. It ripples out to families, workplaces, entire communities. This is Mental Health Awareness Month. Let's break the stigma together. Because when people are healthy and happy, we all thrive. Therapy isn't just for major trauma. It can help with setting boundaries, learning positive coping skills, and simply becoming the best version of you. BetterHelp has over a decade of experience connecting people with licensed therapists who fit their needs. With over 30,000 professionals and 5 million users worldwide, it's therapy that fits your life. It's completely online, flexible, and you can switch therapists at any time at no extra cost. We're all better with help. Visit BetterHelp.com/DLB to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/DLB.
Dan Le Batard.
I miss crank windows. Too many unnecessary conveniences now. Cruise control. Please, I've got cruise control built in. It's called my right foot. It controls how fast the car goes. No button or steering wheel lever needed. Power steering. There's another one. Why do I want to give my power to the car? The power that I once had. The car is a ton of metal. I'm a damn college graduate.
Stugotz.
Bluetooth, HD radio, satellite. I'll take AM, please, with Wolfman Jack talking through the static, and I'll crank the windows down so everybody can hear. I'm Greg Cody, and that's how it was back in my day.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz.
You know, everybody thinks they can do a Boston accent.
Keep cooking. Go ahead.
I grew up with a Boston accent, okay? My mother, into her 90s, was saying, park the car. So I know a Boston accent. I grew up with my aunt singing Robert Goulet songs in French. I'm the real deal. I'm a little hyped right now. I've been in traffic for an hour and a half nonstop. Why are we playing happy music?
He doesn't even recognize the music. And so guys, this is what I'm telling you, all right? Just so that I'm going to let people look behind the curtain for a second. Zaslow's been offended by the way Cody's done this show for about 20 years.
Offended right now.
Cody thinks he's a star, and he is. But he really does think he can come in 10 minutes and be like, I'll get all caught up right here. You guys aren't that good at this. Go ahead, play the
Sure.
So why is he doing a Boston accent?
Because he's pretending to be a Celtics fan because he's the ultimate front runner, the ultimate bandwagon guy. And I'm the one, by the way, I'm the one Tuesday who predicted that the Celtics winning 3 in a row without Tatum would be the best story in all of sports. It's happening.
Yeah, Greg.
He did say that.
You're wicked smart.
Damn right.
I would say that while you're close, you're getting warmer, but that ain't exactly what's at play here. This is a hater's dream scenario now that Tatum is out of the way for a Miami Heat fan, which I'm purported to be, but not actually, because I'm a C's guy now. WDEI!
All right. What are you looking at, Zaslow?
I'm looking at you. I'm trying to be a professional. I look at people when they're talking.
By the way, I did the math. You know how you're infamous for saying you're a 3-time NBA champion?
No, 2-time.
Oh, 2-time. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
because one of them was rigged.
Okay, you know what? I did the math. I am a 24-time NFL, NBA, NHL, MLB, and CFB champion columnist. 24 times.
What makes you a champion?
Because I've covered all of those championships.
Well, I mean, that's
I've
weird.
written about them.
I mean, did you get championship rings from those teams you covered?
Actually, I got a couple of fake rings along the way.
No, I didn't ask how many fake rings you have. Did you get team-issued championship rings?
No, and if I did, I would be embarrassed.
Now ask me that question.
I don't care. And do you have one on?
Well, no, I don't wear it everywhere. I mean,
you wear it anywhere?
Look like a schmuck.
Yes, you would. Do you wear it anywhere?
If I go to a nice event, I was at a Zaslow wedding a couple of weeks ago, I wore my championship ring. Now, I don't wear both at the same time because then I look like an a-hole.
Right.
But yes, I pick out which one I'm feeling that night. Do I wear 2012? Do I wear 2013? I like the 2013 design a little bit better. It's usually my go-to. But yes, if I'm at a nice event, I wear a big, fat championship ring.
And do people ever mistake you for the 12th guy on the bench on that original 1986 team?
Well, 86 is 2012 and 2013. I mean, you should know. You say you cover the teams.
Yes.
But
those were 2 of my 24 championships. The 3, actually. I covered all 3.
They don't have to ask who I am when people see it because my name is on the side of the ring.
Yeah, and you did a lot to earn that. So congrats.
That's debatable, but the team gave me rings.
Yeah, because they felt obligated to. Nowadays, everybody gets a championship ring. Fans get them. Okay, I have a Marlins championship ring.
It's a fake one. You just said it's a replica.
Right.
I have a real one. It's real diamonds.
Okay.
If I wanted to sell it, I'd be living lap of luxury.
I'm sure
These
you
are
would.
real diamonds.
Yeah, and so let me get this straight.
Maybe blood diamonds. I don't know exactly where
Tony
it came
says
from.
you
I don't
can't
know.
live lap of luxury.
Here?
That's ring? Is it $5,000? Because he gets a smaller ring than the others. I don't think he gets the same ring.
They're different levels.
I was about to say, you think your ring
you didn't know that?
is the same as Dwayne Wade's ring.
No, I don't think that. No.
All right, okay.
Now we're passing rings.
Okay. When you wear that ring, does it leave your finger green after you take it off? I'm just curious.
You think I'm wearing a Fugazi ring?
No, it's not Fugazi.
You think I'm wearing a Fugazi ring?
I didn't say that.
You did.
I didn't say that.
I don't like that.
I don't.
Couldn't have said it more clearly.
He's asking. That's questions, guys. Asking questions.
If a green ring is left on your finger after you wear a diamond ring, that means it's Fugazi. Are you saying that?
It means you bleed green.
Are you accusing the Heat?
Yeah, you bleed green like Mike Ryan.
Are you accusing the Miami Heat of giving Fugazi rings?
I am accusing the Miami Heat of giving a much cheaper ring to someone in your situation.
That's true, though.
No offense.
He's
got us there.
Come on.
I will rule on that as a judge.
I'm not saying your ring is. I'm not saying your ring is made out of tinfoil.
Please rule on whether or not a franchise that is constantly avoiding the luxury tax is cutting corners.
Listen, this is my court, and we are not ruling on 2 different things at once. I will rule on whether the ring is cheaper than I have, as opposed to Dwayne Wade, LeBron
Sure.
James, Chris Bosh.
Yeah, or the assistant trainer, or
The
any
ruling
number
it.
of
Well, I
other
don't know
people.
all those people.
I'm happy to cede the power to you here,
Proceed.
Judge with prejudice, Zaslow. Can you guys just look up for me, though, to see what's factual here? Because I believe, Judge, that he's being insulting because I believe it is a very good ring and I believe it is a very valuable ring, but it is also probably a ring that would be lower than the one that Juwan Howard got by a lot.
Probably?
Sustained.
You got that at probably?
No, but then
He knows.
I'm going to go.
Amin knows.
There are many layers. There aren't just 2 layers on this. There are employees, and I believe the Heat would regard him as an employee, as someone who was getting up day and night to be one of the prominent voices for their team. Like, did your money come from the Heat or did it come from radio?
No, it came from the radio.
Okay, so he separated it like a journalist would.
That's right.
Separated.
Never took a dollar from the team, Cody.
Yeah.
Journalist.
Yeah, and how much of an
Never a dollar.
How much of an obligation was there for you to be pro Heat at every turn?
I was never told what to say.
Is that
never
right?
ever? I was
Yeah.
never told what to say.
Because it was already implied.
It was certainly implied.
Okay, hold on a second. This is my courtroom here, all right?
Is it?
I'm going
Since
to
when?
rule, hey, bailiff, keep an eye on him.
And by the way, Heat dancers get championship rings.
So which is greater?
And earn them.
As they deserve.
Well, but which one? But give me the tiers, please, because I think not the next tiers. Give me these tiers.
Yeah, there's definitely a couple of tiers. I mean, the top one
Is
is
it
the
a couple
player.
or is it
like
5?
10 tiers.
I don't know.
It makes a difference, though. The reason I keep asking the question is we're trying to get an empirical measurement for whether or not you're a journalist based on your ring and how big it is and whether you should be proud of your ring. I'm saying it's a valuable ring. I don't know if it's the least valuable. I'm still saying it's valuable. Like, I'm guessing it's at least a $5,000 ring.
Lap of luxury, Greg.
You think?
Yeah.
I do.
Have you seen that? Have you seen the rings?
I have not.
No.
You've seen them?
I've seen them. They're pretty heavy duty.
Okay.
Those are expensive ass rings.
That's right.
What do you imagine it's worth, and what do you imagine you could get for it if you decided to sell your soul? You would never sell it. It's priceless.
If my house were on fire, it's the thing I grab when I'm running out of the house.
Right.
Everyone knows the thing they would grab in their house, right? If your house is on fire, you got to grab some. We're assuming,
My
the
kids.
women, the children.
My
We're
daughter.
assuming. They have legs. They have legs. We're
Hers
assuming
don't
they're
work
getting
yet.
out. All right.
You guys, that's so lame. Yeah, yes, your kids, guys. You would grab your kids.
That's what I'm grabbing.
Congratulations,
Grab my kids.
virtue signalers. Yeah, great.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You grab your kids before you grab. Now, Samson would grab some paperwork. You guys would grab your kids. Got it. Brave and noble warriors, you guys, in a fire.
And Zaz would grab his fake rings. See?
And they'd be hot, and he'd have to put them down and then grab the kids.
Just like
he-
in Indiana Jones, where he tries to grab that little compass thing and then it burns into his hand. So all of a sudden, Zaslow's got it burned in his hand. Heat Championship 2023.
But then the problem is they have the wrong size stick because the flip side of it
backside
take
of it,
one
yes.
kadam off of the Hebrew
Exactly.
God for which it was raised for.
Okay, bottom line is, if my house were on fire, I would grab the rings. They're very, very important to me because not everyone can claim, Greg.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I've never heard anybody else claim being a champion broadcaster. And not
Right.
just that, I'm a 2-time champion broadcaster.
Yeah, I'm a 24-time champion columnist, and I proudly don't wear any ring. I think if you wear a
your
team's
panky ring. You wear your panky ring.
if you wear a team's championship ring, it disqualifies you from claiming you're a journalist.
Well, then you're not a journalist either. You're calling yourself a champion.
I'm calling myself a champion columnist because I've covered 24 championships, major championships. I'm not even including the 2 baseball
These are
championships. I've
Zaslow's
covered.
rings. You think those are cheap rings?
That's me.
I went to
Those are my rings.
Omaha.
You think those are cheap rings?
Those are my fists.
I
My
mean,
fists.
I can't tell from here. I mean, that zirconia looks pretty good.
How dare you?
I can't tell from here.
Wow.
I'm not in the company of the ring, but that
Precious
does
jewel
look,
Banta.
yeah,
Cubic.
that does look pretty a pretty good facsimile.
All right, I will get in a second. I've been remiss, okay, because I will say we're 50 minutes into the show, and what I saw last night in Toronto, I'm just honored to see excellence on display that can reach into a country and a franchise's soul. And I can hear and feel the fear in a really unique way coming from a country
So good.
when they were down 1-0 because they knew what came this way. They've watched enough hockey to know and I heard this. You're not going to believe how it is. I've got to get to these things, and don't let me wander too far away from them, okay? Zaz has betrayed Amin.
I mean, not on purpose.
Okay, we're going to get back to it. I just don't want to wander too far away. I got a text all of you are going to want to hear, but I do want to celebrate.
Go ahead. I'm on the edge of my seat waiting for how you finish that sentence. What do you want to celebrate? I'm right there with you. Woo! Go ahead.
I love Greg on the attack. Greg, we need you on the offensive more often.
That's a forecheck right there.
You're too defensive. You come here, you're humble. You let Dan make fun of you, and you got to say, oh, no, don't talk about my son that way. Don't talk about me that way.
Yeah.
You need to be like this more often, on the offensive.
Yeah, look out for number one. I love this Boston me
Thank
party
you.
over there.
You know, I got to stand up for myself because when I'm in here Tuesday, I was in here Tuesday with Zaslow and Mike talking nonstop. I couldn't get a word in. So now I have a shoehorn.
Don't run out of allies.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, you're right.
Realize what's going on over here. I'm backing you up. I can turn on a dime, as you can tell from the last 2 days.
I know you can.
All right?
That's an authentic accent.
Cool little timer.
Yeah. Wicked good, that accent.
WDEI.
Norista.
Tony, you need to get better at it.
That was a flying knee. The camera didn't get it.
Guys.
I mean, come on, guys. You never know when you're going to hit the sounder. Dan, you got to be looser.
I know I got to be looser.
He's going to do it every time. He's going to be what you need.
WDEI.
Jimmy's.
What I'm saying is that if Tony sharpens this particular skill.
Enough with the sharpening skills. He's doing the chop. All right, every time that plays, play it again. Play it again.
WDEI.
See?
You got Tony doing his thing, but you never know when the old timer's gonna spill some tea all over his computer.
I know.
It's a tough show to direct.
I understood. I would just say to you,
I love that. That's good producing, by the way.
You missed it, by the way. I gave an old timey poke in the eyes. Illegal, by the way.
A little Roddy Piper right there. Blocked, yes.
The eye gouge. The eye gouge is.
I was ready for it.
It's one of. Put it on the poll at Le Batard Show.
Well scouted.
Is the eye gouge the greatest of the fighting tools?
Yeah, but I put that hand up. You got no moves.
Hey, got me.
Coffee.
It's like what happens when Tatum goes out. You just get more Derek White.
Well,
That's a bad thing.
No, wait a minute. So when you say you've got no moves, and when you say heart of a champion, and yes, the Boston Celtics are a proven and determined champion. Boston knows what it takes to be great at sports, although not very often in basketball.
I mean,
over
easy
the
with
last
the
20
proven.
years.
Easy with the proven. There are plenty of questions about our last championship reign because we got so lucky with all the injured players. The best player on every team that we played got hurt. Very fortunate.
You can't do this, person. You can't keep doing this, person.
I'm loving it.
Person.
What? A self-aware Boston Celtics fan? I'm like manna from heaven.
WDEI.
This is what I want to tell you about the weirdness of how it is that I watched the game last night, okay? Because Zaslow left here. You have seen Zaslow say how he sleeps at night knowing that he's got the champion. He goes to bed at the end of these games and he's just got this giant smile on his face because it's how the Chiefs feel. Okay, and I'm not saying that the Panthers are there yet because they're not, but to climb to the top of this sport, it is clear that they have learned through style and physical resiliency what it takes to get to the top of the sport and what it takes to buzzsaw that team, a very good team, at a time that its fan base is scared going into the game because Canada, because 25 years, because here come the Kachucks, and they know what they're doing. I didn't watch the game. I'm listening to it on Toronto radio because I want the Panthers to get a 1-goal lead, and I want to hear what it sounds like there to know that I got in poker the nuts, that you don't have what this is. And the announcer said the perfect thing after the first goal. The Toronto announcer said the perfect thing because I got the silence at 1-0. And he says, these are the Panthers from Game 4. They're here. This is reminiscent. And now the fear of history sweeps through the building. They know what a champion looks like. It never looks like them. Never looks like them. and they see their team broken. Yeah, our backup goalie was great. Can you believe it? It's such a nice story. But here comes the team that knows how to gear up for this time of the season, and they'll choke you out when they get the lead because you will do nothing the rest of the game. And I could hear soaked in the announcer's voice at 1-0 with the silence, they're here now. And I'm telling you, it was haunting. As someone who loves audio, you left here hoping that Toronto would go down 1-0 so that you would hear what Toronto.
Oh, yeah.
You would hear the fear.
Like the Panthers didn't have to go up 1-0 yesterday. The Leafs had to go up 1-0 because if the Panthers get that lead in the first period, that crowd is so tight and they were shook after that 1-0 lead because not only did we give up the first goal, but they are strangling us the way that we were strangled the entire game number 4. And it's why after game 1, even game 2, I mean, obviously I was nervous, but it's why after game 1 and the Leafs won, Leafs fans were excited. They should have been. It was 1-0. I was like, we're fine. Like we played terrible in game 1, game 2 for that matter. And I feel like the Leafs probably felt like they played pretty well in game 1, and they barely escaped with that win. And it's like, all right, the longer this series goes, if you don't kill us dead, and they had a chance to kill us dead, they were a goal away from a 3-0 series lead. Heck, they were up 3-1 in the second period.
Cody, are you laughing at kill us dead? Are you laughing at the journalist us there?
No, I get it. I understand it.
This isn't us.
That's fine.
I'm in the thick of this here, Greg.
Okay.
And
all right.
now...
I thought you played well last night, by the way. Congrats.
Thank you.
Look,
okay.
Zaslow went...
I mean, he probably netted a goal everybody else did.
Zaslow...
AJ Green. Woo!
It's Greer.
Or whatever.
Plays for the Bucks.
Okay. That's true. I'm thinking of the receiver. You're right. Is he
He's
still
still
playing?
He plays for the he used to play for the
playing?
Bengals. I'm talking about AJ Green. Bucks.
Doesn't need to be on
white
time.
guy.
Has got it down. He knows. He's playing the his.
I thought he retired.
He went to game 3 and 4. I will say this.
Had to pull up.
No. So if this person who cares a great deal about the Panthers said he went game 3 and game 4 and told me before the game, it's
Stood on business. Just saying.
He did.
He texted me only one sentence both times going to the arena. My team needs me.
Sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
I mean, fans think like that.
I mean, I had other things going on, but it's like, whatever.
Right.
Get in the car. Team needs me.
Fans are convinced that they're the sixth man on the ice.
He's not a fan, though. He's a 2-time champion broadcaster, and he knows exactly what it takes to get to that mountaintop.
Right.
And I knew my team needed me.
He's a fanalist.
Ooh.
I just invented that.
That's a wicked good word.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah, all
Old
right.
man still got it.
All right, a little counterpunch.
Wait a minute. I believe we've got a lot of those in the media now. I feel like everybody's a fanalist now.
Man.
Top fanalist right now.
Who are the top fanalists? Let's do it. That's a good list because it's changing. The sports media is changing. It's becoming fanalists. Wilbon's out there with his Cubs jersey tucked into his jeans while he's throwing out the first pitch. I'm banging on a hockey drum.
I mean, Bill Simmons,
chief
analyst.
Yeah, everybody's a fanalist.
Mike Greenberg.
Zaslow, you will notice, Cody, is not calling himself a one-time Panthers hockey champion. Like he's not associating himself with that championship.
Yeah, he doesn't have a championship ring either.
I'm a champion columnist. Panthers columnist.
But he's a fan of the Panthers. He's a journalist about the Heat. You will concede that, will you not? He's a basketball journalist.
Can you guys get back to breaking down the game? We were talking puck, and it wasn't one of the 3.5 talking points that Dan has. He was so happy to get that half one with Brad Marchand, but now that I'm on board, we're good.
I don't want to talk to you today.
On board.
I don't. This person.
Let my boy talk puck.
I have never heard from the self-aware Celtics fan. It's not you can't create that character.
I'm just
now.
a truth teller. I live and die with my C's. But, I mean, you look at that title that we won, you closely inspect it, you look under the hood, and you realize, okay, we got very, very, very fortunate for a team that never had to actually prove it.
Fine. The Panthers did to the Bruins to get to hear what they are right now. To watch in real time a hockey team change its entire blueprint to become architecturally something that is tougher in the third periods and that Toronto knows to fear. Because whatever the regular season was, when this team gets to 100 points winning this way, everyone knows that it could beat everybody because it already has. However, I am terrified of Edmonton. Call it now.
Yeah.
terrified.
Wow, they're already getting past the East Finals.
Fully
Good.
terrified.
Okay.
I am
the
fully
West.
terrified.
They're in the West. Champion.
Well, he means
I mean
he
the
means
Panthers.
getting
We're
past,
skipping ahead around. I like that. You know, in the last minute of the game, the Panthers were still outworking. It's amazing the effort and the coach for the other team said this. We were outworked, we were out hustled, we were out wanted.
This is the new
and that
and improved Dan Le Batard show with the Stugotz. Gamble on by DraftKings.
All right, so here's something interesting. Did you know that sleep actually is really important to recovery? I mean, who knew, right? And everyone needs something different from their bed, which is why Sleep Number makes these smart beds that let you adjust each side to the firmness you want. Kind of perfect for couples that can't agree on anything. They've even partnered with the NFL since 2018, and 80% of NFL players sleep on a Sleep Number smart bed. So yeah, there's a reason these things are popular. They've got beds that cool you down, up to 15 degrees cooler on either side, to help you sleep better, especially if you're someone who wakes up sweating like you just ran wind sprints in your dreams. The bed also responds to your movements and adjusts as you sleep, which is wild. Why choose Sleep Number Smart Bed? So you can choose your ideal comfort on either side. And now, it's the Sleep Number Everything Smart Bed sale. Every smart bed and base are on sale during our Memorial Day event. Up to 50% off, limited time, exclusively at a Sleep Number store near you. See store or sleepnumber.com for details.
Hey everybody, it's Mike Ryan. You know I'm a race fan. You know I travel to races, and I had a great experience a couple of weeks ago sitting outside the RV, toasting the good times with Miller Lights in hand with some of my best buddies. It was truly a memory that I'll remember forever, and truly a time that was made better by making that time a Miller time. Trust me when I say, there just isn't a better feeling than hanging out with your boys, clanging those beautiful white cans of Miller Lite, and realizing that you don't gotta worry about the taste of your beer because the taste of your beer is designed for people who love the taste of beer, a taste that you know you can depend on. A great beer trusted by beer lovers for 50 years. From game night to race night to parties with friends or a special anniversary, celebrating important occasions means more moments with the coolest people in your life. Cheers to 50 years of Miller Lite, the great-tasting light beer for people who love beer since 1975. Miller Lite, great taste, 96 calories. Go to MillerLite.com/stand to find delivery options near you, or you can pick up some Miller Lite pretty much anywhere they sell beer. It's Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces.